Yo, 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 yo. What the fuck is up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fight, fight. You already know what it is. And it's just another Super Nipple Sunday. Shout out to the whole motherfucking playback gang, man. Let's get it go, man. Let's go, man. It's fucking hot. Wayne Henny, salute. What it do? 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 Let's get it. Almighty fan, what's goody? Chin Smoke, what it do, King? Boxing God, let's go, man. Look, man, the Reaper's just here, man. Just want to talk to the people, man. I ain't really got shit to talk about. You know what I mean? Boxing was pretty bland this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless y'all want to talk about Daniel Dubois, unless y'all want to talk about Nathan Haney, something like that. Fuck out of here with that shit. What's good, James? Salute. How's everybody, man? Yeah, man. So I guess Daniel Dubois is back. Everybody sensationalizing that shit. I mean, was Bogdan Dinu not like a Turkish police officer that's like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out? That fight was only made just to build his confidence back. And then because people perceive Bogdan Dinu to be a little bit of something of he's in between a journeyman. I wouldn't even consider him really a gatekeeper, but hey, if they want to sensationalize that, I mean, great. I mean, look, Daniel Dubois does what Daniel Dubois best: knock people out. I mean, shit. But outside of that, though, I don't know if 2 rounds was what I wanted to see from Daniel Dubois. I wanted to see some boxing acumen, man. That wasn't like I'm like, okay, you go out there, you blast dude out with a little combination, cool. But like, what else though? That's what I'm saying, man. That's that. I thought, yeah, okay, Romanian. I thought he was a Turkish police officer. So at what point are we supposed to sensationalize that shit? Like niggas is acting like Daniel Dubois is back. And like, yo, I guess it should be expected of the WBA, but how do you just lose to Joe Joyce? Joe Joyce received what? Joe Joyce had the WBA gold or WBA Intercontinental, and he was the British Commonwealth, right? After he beat Daniel Dubois. So how is it that Daniel Dubois is in a better position than Joe Joyce? Can somebody help me make sense of that? Maybe y'all can make more sense of that than I can. But I don't get how a guy goes out there and single-handedly beats you with a 2 mile per hour jab, and you in a better position than he is. You're like literally the interim WBA champ right now. You're literally in the driving seat for what? Does that automatically did that make them the mandatory as well? I didn't look more into it than what it was. I'm like, okay, they made him WBA interim champion. Like, is this nigga supposed to be in the driver's seat right now? Like, does he really have a chance of beating Anthony Joshua? Fuck no. Fuck no. If Joe Joyce can beat him with the jab, oh my God, imagine what Anthony Joshua jab would do to this guy right now. I don't even need a blunt to laugh so hard. It doesn't, man. It doesn't. And fucking boxing has always been a sport of highway robbery. At the same time, I'm just like, shit. I don't know. I don't even know what to think of this shit, bro. I said I also heard Tommy. Oh my God. Who the fuck said that? Because Tommy Fury looked he looked average to me. Average. Average. That fight didn't look good. I didn't like the way he put his combinations together. I didn't like his balance or anything in that fight. That was another fight. Tommy Fury should have went out there and did what he did. Tommy Fury just too bulky, man. He too fucking bulky, dog. Like, yo, like, even Anthony Joshua had to understand that boxing isn't fucking a bodybuilding contest. You gotta tone that shit down. Lean it up a little bit. Bruce Ford salute. He said the Hawk busted jab. Gotti line, what's good, King? How you feeling, bro? I'm just not feeling how Daniel Dubois is a fucking WBA fucking champion right now. WBA interim champion right now. I just interim heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois after quitting off a fucking jab. And Ebony Bridges went 12 with the same please. Hold on. You said Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur Better Beef or Danny Jacobs. Which is better? You really asking me that, All Might fan? But I'm going to ask you a question because you're a cool dude. Of course, Artur Better Beef versus Joe Smith Jr. is better. I don't think Danny Jacobs can handle Joe Smith pressure. Danny Jacobs just foregoed what? He just foregoed 160 to move up to 168, correct? Did he lose? Did he lose the Canelo? He lost the Canelo with. Did he lose the Canelo at 160 or 168? Correct me if I'm wrong. Mad Chad, salute. When did Danny Jacobs lose to Canelo? Was it at 160 or 168? My memory kind of slipping me right now. Yo, I'm gonna get to that, Bruce. I just seen that comment. I'm gonna get to that. You gotta be fucking kidding me, though. That's the guy he called out? The steroid junkie? The steroid junkie? Fucking Joe Smith Jr. is a much better fight than Artur Better Beef. Like, I don't think Danny Jacobs can handle. Okay, exactly. That's what I thought. He fought him at 160. He fought fucking Canelo at 160, moved up to 168, fought Julio Cesar Chavez, and Julio Cesar Chavez was putting hands on his ass. Now we talking about, is Danny Jacobs really talking about going to 175, or he already moved to 175? Because clearly he knows he's not going to get another shot at Canelo at 168. That'll never happen. Canelo wouldn't waste his fucking time with him. And 168, like, he already holds all of the belts. So if he's moving to 175, for one, his body type don't even fit the weight class. For two, who's he going to beat? Is he going to beat Artur Better Beef? Is he going to beat Dimitri Bivol? Or is he going to beat Joe Smith? Is he going to beat either three of those guys? And who does he have the best chance of beating? I don't think Danny Jacobs is better than a 46-year-old Bernard Hopkins. I'm just being honest and speaking facts. And anybody can disagree with me if they want to disagree with me. I don't think, and I'll repeat it, I don't think Danny Jacobs is better than a 46-year-old Bernard Hopkins. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Surgeon of Duss'E, salute. Gabe Rosado just put hands on him and they robbed him. They even called his name out first, gave the right answer, then they took it from dude. Come on, man. Fucking Danny Jacobs is a fucking joke, man. I like the guy, very humble guy, good father. I don't know, man. He conduct himself like a sucker a little bit, for real. You just got me another M. Thanks for that. You just got me another M. And he just whooped your ass and got robbed. So how do you feel, jackass? How do you feel? Fucking kidding me? We got Tommy Fury calling out Marcellus fucking Wilder, the super fucking steroid cheat, the guy that got knocked out by two, not journeymen, two fucking prospects. A guy who was legitimately a kickboxer who just came over to the cruiserweight division, who wasn't even there for no more than 2 to 5 fucking fights. And then you got knocked out by William Dietz in the last round of what? A 4-rounder, a 6-rounder? William Dietz? You got knocked out, arm up like this, like he reaching out to God for help. William Dietz. Yo, if you don't know who William Dietz is, pull up BoxRec. I bet that motherfucker don't even got a picture. That's how insignificant he is. But that seemed like right up Tommy Fury alley, because if you put him in there with a real threat or any type of threat that's on the come up, I don't know if he can win. I mean, I'm looking at the guy box. I'm not impressed here. There is nothing that wows you about anything that Tommy Fury has going on and shit. He don't even have the talk points of his brother. For real. For real. He should be one of those dudes that chat nothing but straight shit. Shout out to the UK, all my UK bros. He should be one of them dudes that chat nothing but straight shit so he could build some level of infamy so somebody will pay attention to his ass. Because just being Tyson Fury, brother, ain't even going to get it. Because motherfuckers barely even pay attention to Tyson Fury. They just like, what stupid shit is this motherfucker going to say out his mouth this week? Come on, man. That motherfucker got a chin made out of Ritz crackers, man. That shit crumble if you, man, look, my 5-year-old daughter, my 5-year-old daughter touch his fucking chin, so crumble that shit. He do. Big John Fury got to talk for him. Somebody got to make it interesting. Whew. Oh, yeah. He was crip walking on that ass after he put that boy to sleep. Yo, the bad thing is, this nigga, like, he had dilated eyes staring up into the ceiling. All you see, this motherfucker was like this. What's that shit? There was no divine intervention. He needed some divine intervention. He needed something of a higher power to step in and cut that motherfucker lights back on because the blinders got shut, but the eyes was left wide open. I was looking at this motherfucker. I said, oh shit, is he dead? Is he dead? Oh no, I hate why I want to see his brother die. Is he dead? Wake him up. Wake him up. That's the prime example of an individual who doesn't have the type of protection, and the type of machine that his brother has behind him. They like, fuck, we already fumbling all this money on one Wilder. We can't invest the same type of media we can't invest the same type of media prowess into him as well. We can't do it. We can't do it. That motherfucker, hey, look. Take that knockout, take that picture from him being on the fucking floor, eyes wide open, sleep, and then put that motherfucker on a sleep number mattress advertisement and some shit like that. Hang him on a billboard and be like, sleep number mattresses. Rest so good you even sleep with your eyes open. You fall asleep with your eyes open. Throw that motherfucker on a sleep number mattress fucking advertisement somewhere on a billboard, somewhere in Hicktown, Alabama. That motherfucker will get more notoriety. Sleep number mattress. Rest so good, you even sleep with your goddamn eyes open. That motherfucker will never be the same again. He will never be the same again. Matter of fact, if I ever, ooh, shit. My next issue with Deontay Wilder, I'm throwing motherfucking Marcellus on a sleep number mattress. I might as well go ahead and slide the clip in there and the crip walk. I mean, I don't think it's made the cut quite yet. Or did it? I think it did already make the cut. As a matter of fact, I like to keep it a little bit. I like to keep it original. I think he did already make the cut. So if anything, we'll just do the sleep number mattress post. Throw his ass on a strikingly familiar billboard. Put that motherfucker on the sleep number. Have that bitch tilted all the way back. Take that bitch back like a car recliner, like the old joints. Pull the hand on, let that motherfucker yank, 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 yank. We throwing his ass on a sleep number mattress. He is well deserving on it. Hey, man. We're alive and well on a sleep number. We're alive and well on a sleep nipple, on a super nipple Sunday. We don't know if Marcellus is, though. That motherfucker, you might be looking at him. He might be at a barbecue or a family function with his eyes wide open, and that motherfucker is stone cold sleep. You don't know if that nigga's awake or sleep with his eyes open and shit. You be like, all in his face and shit. Oh, my bad. I didn't know. Last I saw you was sleep with your eyes open. I'm sorry for invading your space. I just didn't know. Don't get smart. Don't make me go get William Dietz. And that motherfucker. Put the beats on that ass. William Dietz gave him the beats. Oh shit. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Thank you. Thank you. It's great when you got a supporting cast of people that can help you out, help with your you know what I'm saying, help get your creative juices flowing and everything like that, just so you can promote him in an even better way. So guess what? Eyes wide shut on a Sleep Number mattress. Oh, we gonna kill him. We gonna kill him. That motherfucker sleeping real good. That's that space shit. You on that Tempur-Pedic. That motherfucker had Sweetie, blue canaries, stars, all types of shit just swinging around his head. That motherfucker looked like a whole Looney Tunes cartoon. He looked like a whole Looney Tune out there. Fucking embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. Now, Daniel Dubois, all you motherfuckers that saying he's back, you should be a goddamn shame of yourself. No, he ain't back. Because wherever fucking Joe Joyce goes, he got that nigga whole soul in his back pocket right now. He is walking around with that nigga soul in his back pocket. Oh yeah, he got the sonic rings knocked out his ass. Bring! That's about to be Errol Spence, Sonic Coin Spence. Every time motherfucking Manny Pacquiao bing his motherfucking head wide open. Sonic Coin Spence. That's what he's about to be as well. He about to get the sonic rings knocked out his ass too. Come August. Watch. And then when I make the video, I'm putting sonic rings and CGI all around his ass. I might even throw the sonic music in there and everything. He's deserving of all that shit. All of that shit. Tommy looked horrible, man. Tommy looked horrible. Both of them niggas look horrible for real. Both of them some shit. You got... Has Tommy ever been slept before? Nah, he undefeated. Wilder been slept like shit twice. Sleep Number. Daniel looks solid against a good mid-tier journeyman. Let's not make it out like he's back. He's on track, but we need to see changes. Man, I ain't see shit yesterday, and Bogdan Dino ain't nothing for me to give him credit on for real. Okay, you knocked out Bogdan Dino in 2 rounds. That nigga's been 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door his entire career. Like, for real. Like, I would have rather preferred to see him go rounds with Bogdan Dino and showcase a little bit more of what he's been working on. Show that you could deal with a fucking... I mean, like, I don't know, man. I feel like, you know... I would say that was nothing more than a confidence booster for me. That dude, you know, the Frank Warren product, of course. Frank Warren product is cool. I'd say, you know what I'm saying, I enjoyed Nathan Haney out of more than any of them. I enjoyed the energy that was around Nathan Haney. I just enjoyed his performance more than any of them. I just think that Triple D, man, if he would have went in there and box, I would have probably had less shit to say, for real. But him doing what he's known to do, that shit ain't going to do nothing for him in a sense when Joe Joyce just beat that motherfucker with a right hand. Jed Kyle, salute. What's going on? What we got coming up this weekend? Anybody know? Anybody know what we got going on this weekend? This coming weekend? Not today. And fucking, who the fuck is Jared Hurd fighting, man? Oh my God. Like, didn't we just see, man, look, man, I want to see Jared Hurd fight somebody more than ranked number 40 in the world as well, considering he's my hometown guy and literally his parents live like 15 minutes away from my fucking house. Was good to see Dubois knock a cop out though. That's always great. God damn, why y'all boys hard on the police, man? Why y'all hard on the police? See me, I've never had a problem with cops in this regard. I was out in the street hustling. Their job is to lock me up. So it's a cat and mouse game. So I gotta respect what they do. They just doing their job. You know what I mean? Like I don't got no disdain against the police unless they did some fucked up shit to me. But in more cases than none, police ain't never really been fucked up to me though. Only one, like maybe 2 or 3 times. But one time was wild racist. I ain't even gonna stunt. But other than that, I mean, I could have been belligerently in the wrong. Maybe. Who knows, man? I got fucked up plenty of times in my life. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, shout out to that guy knocking out that police guy. We got Ocho Cinco fighting tonight. I just think that adds a little bit of sting on the promotion. You know what I mean? That puts a little bit of extra stank on the promotion, having Ocho Cinco's world premiere. And he's fighting a guy who kind of floats in between. He used to be an MMA guy turned boxer, right? Says good to see bad guys take a loss. Hey, that is true. That is true. Bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? Okay. We got Ritson versus Ponce. We got Pedraza versus Rodriguez, and we got Shakur versus. I ain't even gonna try to butcher that shit. I ain't gonna try to butcher that shit. Shout out to that. Okay, that's a better weekend. That's a better weekend. Thanks, Mark. I like Lou. I like Lou. That's some pretty good shit. So, what's the next big one we got coming up, though? What's the next big one we got coming up for this month? I can't fucking remember. I know it's something, though. Having a fucking brain fart here. Need some help. Mark? Yeah, Mark is right. For all we know, Dubois could end up like James Tennison. Y'all motherfuckers. Yo, y'all think Ocho go? That's it. That's right. That's right. We got Tio versus Cambosos. We got Tio. Victor, my bro, you caught it. Notification gang. It worked for you. I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay, so Tio versus Cambosos. How do y'all see it going? Knockout decision. What's going on? How do y'all see Tio versus Cambosos going? Y'all tell me yours and I give y'all mine. Hey, I ain't gonna stunt. Cambosos is talking that shit. Cambosos got T.O. hot. He got this motherfucker taking off his whole fucking shirt in press conferences. He literally got this motherfucker posting his VADA test on Instagram and Twitter. You can't tell me a motherfucker don't got you jumping out your skin, pissed off, in your fucking head if he's got you posting your piss test to Twitter because he said you a steroid junkie. He got him posting this shit to Twitter. T.O. mid-rounds, Joy got touched up by a weak featherweight in Lee Sell. I said that shit live. I said that shit live to goddamn I said that shit to T.O. Senior, Mark. I was like, bro, split decision with Lee Selby? Split decision with Lee Selby? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He better knock him out. He better knock him out. Okay, here's a question. Would y'all respect a decision against Cambosos? Would y'all respect it? I hope Cambosos could walk the walkthrough. He's tough, but slow a bit. Yeah, man. He's not the most impressive fighter I've ever seen. Like I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of Cambosos, but I am a fan of what he's trying to come to. I am a fan of what he's presenting here and how he's got Tio a little bit beside himself. Tio doing shit a normal motherfucker just probably wouldn't regress to, like posting they fucking paperwork and shit like that. Like, yo, motherfuckers don't do that unless they got you inside your feelings a little bit. Fight won't go to cards. Nor am I saying, okay. So man Chan said the fight won't go to cards. That's what's up. Lee Selby couldn't even do much. Shout out to Lee Selby. Shout out to Lee Selby. So okay. So the point I'm trying, okay, I think Mark already said something about it. Let me see what Mark said. Exactly, a weak featherweight. Depends on how dominant. But if he has a tough night, no. Okay, so if he has a tough night, we're going so we dogging him if he have a tough night. So we're unanimously dogging this guy if he has a tough night with George Kambosos. How do y'all feel about his dad trying to make Kambosos out like Kambosos is this killer? Because I ain't never seen George Kambosos as a killer. Once again, shout out to that split decision against Lee Selby. Depends on if it's one-sided decision. It would be all right. But a competitive fight, I think T.O. stock drop. I think his stock plummets. Plummets. If he goes out there and he even puts on what is remotely considered debatable with Lee Selby, it's a problem. I honestly believe that a person that everybody believes Teofimo Lopez to be, if he goes out there and he gets knocked, I mean, he don't knock out a Lee Selby, I think it would kind of like, I'll be taking a little bit back from it. But me, I'm not a firm believer that you got to go out there and get knockouts all the time or sensationalize knockouts all the time like it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm a firm believer in the sweet science, but let's get it twisted here. I mean, it is George Kambosos, so I'm just saying, if you don't knock out Kambosos and you go 12 with Kambosos, I mean, shit. Don't get me started on my conversations about Devin Haney. I just hope Lopez fights Haney like he said. We be holding him to that. If he gets through this and wants to make a U-turn. That's the key. My thing is, he better get through it a certain way, which I don't think it should be a problem. I think it's going to be a quick switch knockout that comes in about 5 rounds. To be perfectly honest. If he gets a quick switch knockout in about 5, that's all of that. That's generally what I expected. Even if it's more than 5, it is exactly what I expected, him to knock him the fuck out. But if he don't, I'm going to have to look. It's like, is Lee Selby's chin made of vibranium, or is T.O.'s power a little overhyped here? Mark, you a goddamn fool. Cam bullshit though, Mark. That's what we doing. That's what we doing, Petty Riley. Shout out to Petty Riley over there. This nigga called him Cam bullshit. Tweet that shit. If T.O. sticks and moves, drops him, and wins dominantly on points, he gets credit. Absolutely. As he's supposed to. As any fighter is supposed to go out there, you know, if they stick and move, beat a fighter round by round, he gets credit. But my whole thing is this, man. You better not even lose 5 rounds to that boy in my world. I put T.O. in a different category, of course, than we put a George Kambosos. So I feel like if a Teofimo Lopez, you go out there, you lose 5 rounds to Kambosos, my God. This is the so-called undisputed McDonald's franchise champion of the world. Yo, I wanted to talk about this with y'all because I don't think we ever had the conversation. I mean, generally, if you look at the percentages of the votes, some people want to make Teofimo Lopez undisputed. Others don't. But really, I've never asked this question. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I never really had this conversation. How did you guys feel after the fight, knowing that this dude took 2 WBA belts that made absolutely no sense, but he's really sensationalizing that he's this lightweight champion of the world? Because I do believe before then, I don't know if he said it or not, but I mean, the franchise belt was the franchise belt before he had it. It just like if you're a true boxer or you're a true boxing fan, and we know the original rules of when this whole grassrooted piece of shit of a belt was created from the ground, this whole franchise belt, if we look at it for what it was, the franchise belt was not supposed to exchange hand. It was supposed to be built for these marquee fighters jumping in the biggest fights, and it doesn't exchange. You get a diamond belt on that behalf. Now all of a sudden there's exchanging hands, and this dude blowing that shit up. How did y'all feel about that? Did y'all think less of Teofimo Lopez for that, or you was just like, it's negligible, it's whatever? He definitely is, man. He's going to walk right into a straight right hand. Bro, he's not undisputed until he sees Haney or whoever has that WBC belt. Absolutely, because in my world, if you're a franchise champion and he's the WBC lightweight champion of the world, and Lomachenko gave that shit up, and you took what Lomachenko had, then you had to personally identify with what that belt already was. And if you aren't doing it, all of a sudden, it wasn't good enough for anybody before, but it's good enough for you now to call yourself undisputed. Why? Because you beat that guy and now you got it. I'm not feeling that. I ain't feeling that at all. It honestly makes me I felt some type of way about that shit. Well, I really didn't feel some type of way until the press conference when he called Devin Haney the email champion. And it ain't like me getting emo and calling the email champion, but you said his words were, I'll fight the email champion next, and you didn't do that, and you're fighting the George Kambosos, who we know win life or death with a featherweight Lee Selby. Lopez shots all night, for sure, for sure. Kambosos is like ESPN level Friday night fight type fighter, just decent, not elite. Yeah, he would be that main event card on a Friday night fight. So for me, it's like if I don't see Teofimo go out there and do what Teofimo does best, man, I got to give it to him. I got to flame him. I got to flame him. Like my whole thing is this, right? If you why like all of a sudden the franchise belt is good enough for you to be undisputed when they change the rules for you. Yo, that's not no real shit. That's not no real shit. No, it's never an offense. But we gotta be honest in our interpretation, right or wrong, Mark. If a nigga is just okay, I'ma tell him he's just okay. Like motherfuckers get offended when I say motherfucking Sean Porter is a B minus, a B at best, who hits his head on the ceiling of the elite four or the elites here. I tell people that all the time and they get offended. But what am I supposed to say when this motherfucker ain't nothing? He ain't giving me nothing but what he's giving me. I've never been impressed. I've never been impressed. And then look at look at the Sebastian Formella fight. I mean, shit. Look at the goddamn Yadenius Ugas fight. I mean, shit. Am I supposed to be impressed here? UK Wilder friend Cub pressing. Shut the fuck up, Wiz. So now you with the Wilder fan club. So that must make me. So we team Skitty now. That's what we doing. We team Skitty. I knew the chat got smelly just at the mention of his name. Lopez should be ashamed of himself, stressing it and even confronting other governing bodies about respect. Respect is earned and not given. Just because he's crying for it, a great rematch to seal things. I couldn't have said it any fucking better. I couldn't have said it any better. Because it's funny to me, now that you got your hands on something, you just wanted everything to change on your behalf. Mauricio Suleiman don't even know what to say when he goes out. It's just like, salute, George. How you feeling? It's like Mauricio Suleiman don't know what to say. It's like when the camera's on him, when it's about Devin Haney, Devin Haney's the undisputed champion of the world. And then when it bounces back to, Teofimo, he's the undisputed champion of the world. And then when it bounces back to Devin Haney is the lightweight champion of the world. And then it's just an unfortunate situation that we are just trying to iron out here. Well, I'm like, God damn, motherfucker. Fuck an iron. You need a whole fucking print. You need a whole press. Damn, an iron. You need one of them big ass factory shits. Press that whole shit because you just created a fucking world of mess. But anybody who's a real fan of boxing ain't on board with what Teofimo's problem is. And he expects everybody to just go with that shit. Go with that shit. I've started to realize and I've started to understand that Teofimo has a lot of what his father has in him. Emotions. Emotion. He's a very emotional dude. I'm not big on emotional dudes. I don't think any nigga should be big on emotional dudes anyway, but it's a different type of emotion though. Like it's kind of like I pissed the bed and I'm justifying it, mom. Didn't rematch Loma, rematch clause or not, to talking the WBC champ down instead of fighting him and beating him to show he's the guy. He's becoming too so boring. Like, man, I mean, I think it's at the point now where Teofimo's talking points are like they're falling on deaf ears. And I think we're all starting to, you know what I mean, lose. I think we're starting to lose appreciation with that shit. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Mark. I'm just saying it's like equivalent to a motherfucker pissing the bed. You heard me, goddamn it. Fury sucks, Wilder really sucks. We know how you feel, Wiz. We know how you feel. Like, okay, him not rematching Lomachenko, how do y'all feel about that? Because I was under this impression at first. The motherfucker didn't put the rematch clause in there, so I didn't really hold him. I didn't really hold it to him like that. I didn't really hold his feet to the fire on the behalf of Lomachenko didn't put the rematch clause in. And based off of his confidence over him blowing his head up and saying, you know what, Lomachenko's response was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe when I watched his interview, this is what he said. He said that Teofimo came in him talking shit about the rematch clause and he's scared and he needs to have a rematch clause, et cetera, et cetera. So he took it out on that behalf. Well, if you did that, you fell into the fucking trick bag because you should cover your own angles. Because I do believe this, because I said it before the fight when it came to their paths to victory. I said Lomachenko is going to have to do the same thing that Sugar Ray Leonard did to Tommy Hearns. His power isn't going to be the defining factor. Tommy Hearns is the bigger, longer guy, just equal quicks, nasty punch power. But Sugar Ray Leonard turned it up in the punch volume and the accuracy and really took it to him. Had to go inside of his wheelhouse, had boxed beautifully, but the volume was so crazy, it equates to power. I felt like Vasily Lomachenko was going to have to do that same shit and say fuck his power because that's what type of fight he was going to have the guy have with a naturally bigger guy with a naturally bigger punch. So I try to use like the great fighters that come before me in similar circumstances to try to base what could be the best particular outcome for that particular fighter. Now, Vasily Lomachenko, we saw after round 5, Vasily Lomachenko turned up that volume. And what the fuck happened to his eyes? Oh my God. Did you see his fucking eyes? Once Vasily Lomachenko turned that shit up and realized it was the second half of the fight and he had to make something happen, that's when his volume and his accuracy, and you really got to see his boxing acumen come out, and he had less fucks to give. And then you got to see, you saw Lopez fatiguing. Lopez hasn't shown the greatest win tank from 1 to 12. And honestly, the second half of the fight was very telling for me. I just wish that Vasily Lomachenko would have fought within the first half of the fight as you do in the second half of the fight. But in most cases, it doesn't happen like that most of the time. I guess, you know what I'm saying, in certain similar circumstances, it had to be the power. He said it too. The kid got power and he was very apprehensive in the beginning. I wish he would have foregone his apprehension for volume, because maybe we will be having a completely different conversation right now. But honestly, I don't, because I bet a lot of money on that goddamn fight. And I won it, goddamn it. I like to see how Loma that. Me too. Me too. And I feel like, look, this is what type of person I am. And y'all let me know what type of motherfucker y'all are when it comes to fights too. All right, if a guy goes out there and he fights the champion who's moved up multiple weight classes, who's done it in such a short amount of time, comparable to Teofimo, and a better way than Teofimo. If you look at it like this, right? If you go out there and fight a fucking champion, the champion, the former champion who had the belt, You took it from him, and you put on a debatable. I would like to see you revisit that. I would like to see you revisit that. And to be perfectly honest, y'all, I would truly like to see, I can't wait to see the outcome of Masaroshi Nakatani versus Vasily Lomachenko. I'm not a firm believer in triangle theories, but I'm just saying, I would have to take a look at that situation and look at Teofimo's situation and look at how Teofimo's adapted as a fighter. Because to be perfectly honest, I don't think Teofimo is really adapted as a fighter. He still fights the same way. It's kind of like he fights with a if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. And then when you hear him talk, that comes out in his talking points. I like to see how, and I know how Vasily Lomachenko is going to take on that fight. Nigga coming out, he got to prove something. He wants to prove something. And I feel like Masaroshi Nakatani was that guy for that particular reason. Because if motherfuckers don't think he's chasing that rematch, ooh, I beg to differ. Like, I haven't looked at, like, I can't look at Vasily Lomachenko like he's not a gamer, because he's proven time and time again that he is definitely a fucking gamer. I agree, because I feel like if you put on a debatable against a champion, yeah, you need to run that back. Because to be perfectly honest, you put a debatable on with a champion. The only thing that separated the win for me and it not being a draw was the apprehension in the 12th round. Teofimo showed up in that 12th round because that motherfucker didn't take 1 round off. He didn't take 2 rounds off. He took the second half of the fight off. And then the look on his face after the fight, I'm talking about the damage. If I compare the damage of his face compared to Lomachenko's face, Lomachenko was abrasions. Teofimo was swole the fuck up. Shout out to Carol Brook, chocolate brownies, man. Merle Dixon, salute, homie. How you feel? Bah, bah. I try to be family. I try to be. He didn't really best Loma that well. For honor's sake, give him that rematch and best him more convincingly so people can get behind you. Same shit Fury did with Klitschko after the win. Call it lucky. Yeah, because there's always going to be a Isn't there always a when a motherfucker isn't really willing to do that, considering we already have a definitive set position on how we felt as though it ended? I'd have to say so. Ronald Finkley, salute. Junior, salute. He will adapt and win. That's why T.O. doesn't want it. And I, for one, think that I'll say this about Lomachenko, because I truly respect him as a fighter, and I really enjoy his skill set, and I really enjoy watching him as a fighter. I'll say this. I say truthfully and honestly, I think the apprehension comes from the fact of the way the second fight ended. That's just one thing. But I honestly think in their minds, and they will never say this, that if Lomachenko had 3 or 4 months to sit back, train, look at that tape, I'm sure he's looked at it over and over again, comparable to the second half of the fight, I think Lomachenko is the type of fighter, if you give him a second look, it could be extremely bad, because he's a high IQ fighter. He's a high IQ kind of chameleon-esque kind of fighter who adapts based off of what he's been through, what he's seen. Like a first look you perform or you don't perform. But giving certain fighters a second look, it's kind of like Floyd Mayweather against Castillo 1 and Floyd Mayweather against Maidana 1, going back to Floyd Mayweather against Castillo 2 and Floyd Mayweather against Maidana 2. Everything that you thought you had in the first fight, he completely takes it all the way the fuck away from you. And I think Vasily Lomachenko might be that individual. Can't say it, haven't seen it yet, but given based off of what I've seen in the first fight, I feel like he could be that individual that truly takes that away from you. And I think that Teofimo was a little bit more basic than he would like to lend credence to, but it kind of shows it. Kind of shows it. You know, that Nakatani fight is dangerous for Lomachenko. Honestly, I think size-wise, yes. That's not an easy fight. And I think that Lomachenko coming off a loss and taking that fight, it kind of speaks to the testament of what type of character that Lomachenko has. It speaks to the dog in him. But at the same time, Masaroshi Nakatani is not a high IQ fighter. He's a fuck it. Punch me, knock me down, I'm still coming forward. I'm going to touch you. I'm going to get you any way I can get you. He's a thirsty fighter for victory. Any way he can get it. Brawling, thudding forward, whatever he's got to do, however many times you knock him down. But I think Lomachenko will present a type of accuracy, a kind of precision, take certain things away from him, get inside of his wheelhouse, beat him up, pivot him, come upstairs, come downstairs, show him some different angles and shit like that, that it could be very hypnotizing for this kid. Very hypnotizing. But the size, if I was Masaroshi Nakatani, what I would be doing is I would have to take the approach of Orlando Salido. Take advantage of just being bigger, being dirty, and just a high level of ferocity. Because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if you are Masaroshi Nakatani going into that fight, it's not like you're coming into that fight and you're just like, hey, I'm going to go box this guy with all the tactical advantage. Absolutely not. You would have to trip. You would have to look at it in size. You would have to look at it in size and possibly strength. There's knockout power there. We know he got knockout power there. So for me, I'll just have to make it rough, tumble, as ugly as fucking possible, upset this dude, frustrate this dude, grab this guy, get a hold of him, piece him up, make it rough, try to cut him up, do anything I fucking could. Because if it comes down to just high IQ boxing, yo, you can't even fucking mention them two in the same fucking breath. That's why it's very puzzling for me, and it says a lot for me when you look at a Teofimo Lopez who goes out there and go 12 with this individual and gets touched up for the entirety of the night, even though he was winning those rounds. He was getting roughed up. Remember, no more tall guys. Swimming the whole day. Bruh, it is fucking jump in a puddle fucking day. It is fucking take all of the racks out of your refrigerator and close the door and sit in the refrigerator kind of day. It's that fucking I just walked from outside and came in the house, stick my head in the freezer kind of day. It's that two hands when he gets off here. I'm pulling out the 350 Liquid Cool Banshee, the KX65, the KX110, the the KTM 125 SX. It's that kind of day. It's pull out the YF Z450 kind of day for two hands. That's exactly what I'm doing when I leave here. That's why I got my riding bags and shit. Got my riding bags and shit ready. Water, Gatorade, and all of that shit. I'm ready to go. We about to tear up the trails, about to fix the fucking clutch cable, about to fucking jet the carbs, and we hitting it. We're hitting it. Facts, two hands. If Nakatani comes out fighting like Salido, it's going to be a long night for Lomachenko. Absolutely. And that's why if I'm in Camp Nakatani, I would have to tell him, fuck trying to be poised and be disciplined, be unorthodox. Because what I get from a Nakatani is, and when I watch a Nakatani, what makes Nakatani fucking such an anomaly is just the ability to completely be unorthodox. No look past salute, man. Glad you in the building, family. Hope your Super Nipple Sunday is going great. I hope everybody's Super Nipple Sunday is filled with amazing fucking nipples. From your girls, that is. Your girl. If you're doing some other shit, I can't condone it, but hey, man, that's how you living. Yes, Loma's still up there. It's these Lomosexuals. Yeah, man, the Lomosexuals are out of control. The Lomosexuals are out of control. It's one, like, yo, these dudes can't even fucking, yo, look, it kills these motherfuckers. Yo, they hate me so much for the Age of Spin Volume 3. They hate me for that shit because I just was willing to identify with the shit that Lomachenko was doing before and after the fight. Like, look, bro, he took a fucking loss, man. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry I'm not Showbiz the adult. I'm not gonna tell you that this motherfucker is a greater fighter than fucking Floyd Mayweather because he beat Jorge Linares. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to tell you he's better than Floyd Mayweather. I will not do that. But I will tell you he's a high IQ fighter. I will tell you I respect his fucking grind. I will tell you he's very exciting and I love enjoying and watching all of his fights because I truly do. Because what fucking Vasily Loma, it's a shame that being in the lower division and him not being able to speak the language so it doesn't transcend, and with his if anybody watches him, they instantly become a fan. But there's a lot of people that just don't take to him because he speaks a different language. He's from another side of the world, and a lot of people are casuals when it comes to boxing. They're only watching the headlines of the popular but the inferior. Thank you. Floyd gets more credit for running through those fights back, and he beat them all up better. See, but when these guys run from their rematches, just because they have enough haters to help them duck, and that's the difference between a world champion and a world chump. That's the difference between a world champion and a world chump or a world-renowned sucker. Because if anybody said that Floyd Mayweather put on a debatable, he running that shit back. And he gonna silence all that shit. He gonna make you hate him even more, but you gotta respect him even more because he was willing to do what another motherfucker ain't willing to do. I think that that's a fight that we should see. And honestly, if I was Bob M, I'd force it. I'd force it. Especially right now, that motherfucker ain't showing no type of love. For real. And Bob Arum, in his heart and in his soul, he don't believe that Teofimo can beat Devin Haney. He made that very clear at the press conference when he said if he wanted that fight, he signed to the wrong promotion. And I'm not chalking it up to the size of the street. I'm chalking it up to the boxing ability. I don't think Bob thinks he can beat him. But I think the way Bob feels right now about Teofimo, he's more than willing to throw him into the wolves. So he's positioning his chess pieces in a way to where Lomachenko's going to get a hold of him, and Eddie Hearn already got his chess piece positioned to where they're willing to throw the biggest bag, put him on ESPN promotion if they got to make the fight or whatever happen. And either way, they got you boxed in. It's going to be Loma or it's going to be Devin, bro. And the world is sitting there waiting based off of your fucking overly bloviated talking points. The world is waiting on your response and your moves after you come out of the George Kambosos fight. If you come out of the George Kambosos fight, which we all think you're going to win in a spectacular fashion. We're not going to disrespect your skill set, but we are going to hold you accountable to the things that you say and the things that you are supposedly going to do. So we're going to sit back and we're going to wait. We're going to enjoy our boxing. We're going to love our boxing, and we're going to sit in anticipation and waiting for one or two things to happen. Who is it going to be? I'm tired of hearing every time Lomachenko's name come up. Did you see what I did to Mans? Did you see what I did to Mans? Yeah, we saw what you did to Mans on the first half of the fight in the 12th round, but we saw what Mans did to you too. Chocolate brownies. Shout out to Betty Crocker Box. Shout out to the Betty Crocker Box, man. If he doesn't drop Kambosos, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a firm believer, I'm a firm believer in sweet science, Victor, but I'm at the same time, I feel like really, I honestly, and from the bottom of my gut, feel like this nigga has, I ain't gonna say has to, but he should knock him the fuck out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should knock this dude out. There is no reason why you shouldn't be able to knock George Kambosos out. You should be able to knock this nigga out cold, clean, bow, good night, Irene. Definitely hoping to see something while we tanning out here. Me and the fam. Oh, you on your light skin shit today, huh? I can't tan. I just get black as a motherfucker. That's why I gotta hop on the bike and keep it moving, Ronald. I can't stay in one spot. I gotta keep the breeze on me, or I'm gonna come back in this motherfucker and y'all just gonna think Peter Pan's shadow was motherfucking doing my lives. Kambosos is no mug. But at the end of the day, split decisions with Lee Selby, this is where I'm not mugging the dude off, but the nigga average. Average. I'd say his talking points are savage. I'd say his talking points are savage, but he average. Loma's a beast. I don't know why motherfuckers act like he's done. He's not done. And in no way, shape, or form have I ever said he was done. This is the only thing that I've said that people might have a problem with. But if you if you really entrenched in boxing and how the inner workings of boxing work, you would understand this. I never was a fan of Devin Haney taking that fight after Lomachenko just came off a loss, because he's not going to get the respect. Look how motherfuckers are talking about him for getting caught with a punch, for putting on a sensational performance against arguably the hardest right hand in the lightweight division. Ain't that a bitch? So imagine if he went out there and he sensationalized a victory against a guy who just came off of a loss to his other peers. Motherfuckers is going to be like, oh, he was done anyway. He wasn't the same fighter. That apprehension he showed in the first half of the fight, that was truly what it was after, you know what I'm saying, he lost. He had the same apprehension, you know, walking into this fight with Devin Haney. We knew he was going to lose. He wasn't the same Lomachenko. That's why I'm never a fan of a guy fighting another guy's so-called leftovers after he takes that fight. Because the way the media programs work right now, that's the way they do guys that they're not a fan of. And that's the way they do people, period. T.O. didn't wash Loma. He beat him, though. Never said he washed him. Never said he washed him. I said he beat him. The first five, maybe you give him 6. And then, like I said, definitively the 12th. But Loma owned the second half of the fight. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to what a person is saying, when it comes down to boxing, though, if Devin Haney took that fight after Loma lost, they would not give Loma the type of respect he is for the type of fighter he is, and they would not give Devin Haney the kind of respect for the type of performance that he put on. And that is a fucking travesty to the sport that we love and we frequent so much. That's my only issue with it. Would I love to see the fight? Absolutely. Y'all know I've been campaigning for Devin Haney to get a hold of Loma before Loma even came in the picture for Teofimo Lopez. Peep the technique in the first year of my videos. As fucking weird as they were. All over the place, janky shit, you know. We got some little bit of growth with us now. But yeah. I just don't want that. For any young fighter, I don't want that fuckboy unnecessary fucking claim of media from a bunch of fat writers who have never fucking laced up a glove, who have never taken a fucking shot in the face, who have done nothing but sit in their fucking house and video game it up because they're scared of the motherfucking perceptions of the outer world. I know you didn't, 2 hands. I'm just speaking like motherfuckers act like T.O. was washed. See, T.O. washed them. See, this is the problem with a lot of motherfuckers, man. They like to take situations, you know what I'm saying, to do and say certain shit. They might do. They feel like they benefit their channel. Shout out to the whole go along, get along gang, because that's exactly what they are. But behind the scenes, a lot of y'all don't know these dudes never felt these way about these so-called fighters that they speak of. It's absolutely disgusting, for real. Because a lot of the shit these motherfuckers be talking about, they didn't feel like that before. And if you listen to their talking points, it didn't match with the way they feel right now. Niggas was just all right. Niggas was just all right the other day. Now they the greatest shit since sliced bread. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fantasy fight. Floyd Mayweather Sr. versus Roger Mayweather. Who you got? Well, you know, we know Floyd Mayweather Sr. was on his way to having a great boxing career, but, you know, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, he got locked up for a drug. He got locked up for a drug case. The Black Mamba, Roger Mayweather, he had a fucking better career, was more definitive, heavy fucking thudding hands, very fast, beautiful fucking technique, world champion. I got to go with the Mamba, man. I got to go with the Mamba's ferocity. I got to go, you know, but does fucking Floyd Sr. having a superior technique? I just think that, you know, if you take Floyd Mayweather Jr., Take Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was the perfect embodiment of Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Roger Mayweather put together. Like I knew as a child coming up watching boxing that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the fighter that I knew that I was going to tailor most of my viewership on. I knew it was going to be a fighter that I was going to be very high on, and I knew that when he came through, the Marco Barreras, the Nassim Hameds, the Manny Pacquiao's, all of those other little dudes that was around him at the time, the Diego Corrales, the Oscar De La Hoyas, I knew that none of those guys were going to be able to fuck with him because that motherfucker was the perfect combination of both his father and his uncle. Killer, smooth killer. There's a lot of niggas that did not want that smoke at 130 pounds. We know that to be 1,000% facts. There was a lot of niggas that didn't want that smoke at 135. We know that shit to be 1,000% facts. When that nigga's hands was 1,000, was on 1,000. Now, we all love Chico Corrales. We all love Chico Corrales. I was like mind blown. Mind blown. This motherfucker was in his corner in pure frustration, squeaky tone. I can't touch him. Like that just showed the level of superiority and the levels that this guy was on, and how I speak to you guys, how I spoke to you guys several months before and on other people's channel as well about Lomachenko and the reason why I felt like Teofimo was going to win. Because there's a point where skill can only carry you so far, and size does play a factor in the situation. And I felt like that was the case for Teo and Lomachenko, which I was proven right in the fact that everybody just had to, you know what I'm saying, eat a little humble pie, like, yeah, 2 hands, you was right. Yeah, I felt like Floyd was the prime example of that before Lomachenko's era came into play. Floyd was that same fighter who was moving up in weight, using pure fucking speed, intangibles, and defensive acumen to get where he got and receive the belts that he got. Now, when you can adapt to the way that he did with the fucked up hands and all of that and still go out, win champions, beat champions, knock motherfuckers over and win belts, fucking lineal 4 times a welter, like it just shows that if you have that boxing ability, if you have that defensive acumen, you can go far. And Vasily Lomachenko was the next person to prove, like, yo, skills literally pays the bills, bro. It literally pays the bills. Yeah, man, top of the afternoon to everybody, man. It's a fucking beautiful fucking Sunday. I must say that. But in Maryland right now, it's scorching fucking hot. And we got this thing. Like, you know, because my family from California too. Los Angeles and San Diego. We got this thing that California don't really have to suffer from. It's called humidity. Niggas who live in the South, motherfuckers who live up north, they know what I'm talking about. It's muggy, it's sticky, where 80 degrees here will make it feel like 120 out there. It ain't nothing nice. The Bud Blast Porter, Errol going to run all the way to 154. See, the thing about it is, man, I think Errol is staying away from 154. I think Errol is only but so good. I think what Floyd has already done to Jeff Horn, I think what Floyd did to I think what Bud Crawford did to Jeff Horn is the reason why nobody's fighting him now. That's definitely the reason why Keith Thurman's fighting him now. Because it's funny to me that Jeff Horn became a fucking scrub after Bud Crawford fought him. You heard what Keith Thurman said. Nah, that motherfucker's a true welterweight. Real big, got the size, got the ability, yeah. Yeah. Like, yo, motherfuckers ain't just going in there and just getting over on Jeff like that. Regardless of how motherfuckers want to carry it. Then why ain't them motherfuckers ever fight Jeff Horn? Why didn't they ever fight an Aegis Kavaluskas? The only one that's willing to step up and do it is the young boy Virgil. Aegis Kavaluskas ain't no pushover. If it was, then everybody would be using him in the sense of a Juan Montiel. For sure, man. It's oof. Yeah, man. Errol is definitely B level in my eyes. And see, the thing about it is, man, I think Errol has been exposed on levels. Yeah. Y'all got that dry heat out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to LA. Shout out to Florence. Shout out to Florencia. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, man. I think Errol has been exposed on levels where, you know what I'm saying, his fan base just isn't willing to admit it yet. I think Errol he lacks a lot in his defensive areas. I think Errol lacks punch. Let's be serious here. I'm about to blow y'all fucking mind. When is the last year Errol Spence knocked somebody out? Just go ahead and tell me whatever you think, and I'll tell you exactly what year was the last time he knocked somebody out. Hold on one second. Got to go get some racing gas. Errol ain't knocked nobody out since 2018. That was the last time Errol Spence knocked somebody out. Errol hasn't knocked anybody out since 2018. And what year are we currently in? 2021. He's fought a lightweight. He's fought a guy who has never won anything significant at 147 pounds. And he's fought Sean Porter. And he hasn't knocked out anybody since 2018. And you want to know who that last guy knocked out in 2018? It was Kell Brook. It was a Kell Brook who went up in weight and fought a Triple G and got his orbital bone fucking broken, and he came back down and got the other one broken by Errol Spence. So naturally, you would kind of suspect that he would get a knockout off an individual like that, considering what he just went through in the fight previous to that. So, when people think so highly of the IBF title that he happened to win off Kell Brook, I can't, because Kell Brook still went out there and showed areas deficiency in Errol. Sean Porter went as far as to beat Errol, but would never get the decision. Shout out to his ugly suits, the explosions going on underneath his jackets, and shout out to his football player mentality. And shout out to all of those nut shots that never got deducted in that fight, because they just don't look at Sean like a marketable fighter. 2018. He fought a lightweight. He went 12 rounds with him. He said that his mission was to knock this kid out. But you didn't knock him out. Everybody was about to go hard on you. So you guys managed to flip the narrative and say you wanted to show people your boxing ability because nobody said you can box. Is that so? Okay. Okay. Hawkins Smith look himself in the mirror and claim he's pound for pound. You know, when you throw your big ass head through a windshield, bounce your teeth off of a freaking curb, I think delusions might set in. I just think I would like to chalk that up to delusions and the fact that, you know, The bodyguard and Mr. Me Too's and the Go Along Get Along gang and the fan bases that surround Errol Spence, they happen to make it very clear that anything that he freaking does is law. In the media, they allow that to happen. Is it that much hate for Bud Crawford? I don't understand it because the media is never given an accurate depiction of what's going on in a boxing ring and how they feel about boxers. I don't know why people are so thirsty to salvage, to keep relationships and have interviews with boxers. I could give a fuck less about talking to a boxer. The motherfuckers bleed the same blood as I do, and after they fucking career's over, the motherfuckers got to look back on their shit just like we do. And they live like you and I. Why are they so special? They're so special that you don't want to tell the truth because why? You want some money? You can still get money. I promise you that. But to sell fighters short on who really get busy and to blow another fighter up and protect him in the sense to where you're not telling the truth about who he is and you guys have called him a boogeyman. And this guy hasn't knocked an individual out since 2018 and can't even sensationalize his boxing performances because he gets touched up time and time again. I've really made the question to ask people, how do people think that he can get past Bud Crawford? I don't even think that he beats Keith Thurman. I never did. I've always thought Keith Thurman was a superior boxer with a superior punch, regardless of whether people want to believe it or not. I don't give a damn about the body attack. You got to be able to hit him first. Errol Spence is this. Flat-footed, straightforward. Facts. Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence and or Danny Garcia 154 since they said they wanted to move up. I don't know. I think Tim Tszyu might knock him out. I rewatched the Diaz versus Crawford. Damn, I feel sorry for Porter. And Miguel. How many times have I told people and people have tried to completely dismiss what I'm saying and disagree with me? And I think there's probably only one person who's echoed this sentiment and understand where I'm coming from when I said that people act like Sean Porter's going to go out there and do anything great. But what I saw in the Felix Diaz fight is the exact same style. Sean Porter would get treated the exact same way, just in a different division. You're the only one who said that. I think Ring IQ might have said it too. It's the exact same style. Why do people act like Sean Porter is going to be the definitive measure to say that Bud Crawford has a chance against an Errol Spence? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I felt like that was a disrespect to Keith Thurman. Sean Porter, that just shows that whenever people want to see certain smoke, we just gonna freaking throw him Sean Porter bum ass. That's all they do. That's all they do. I think Spence has long outgrew the weight class, which is why his power ain't like that. And if he has been on the sauce, the cut weight, and the liquor still sips, well, Manny might just have a chance. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, mark my words, and I've been saying it. Manny gonna knock this kid out, man. Manny gonna knock this kid out. People thinking that, they thinking this is the right time. They thinking it's the right time. Manny been out for a couple years. They think this is the right time to go and seize the moment. But if you're an older fighter, the best thing that you could have is restoration. Is rest. That's the best thing you can have. Rest, restore energy, restore power, restore your faculties, whatever, then hop back in there. That 2 years didn't do nothing but Manny Pacquiao some good. Because if anybody knows anything about Manny Pacquiao, he ain't never not in the gym. He ain't never not working out. Shit, he even got Jinky on the program. He said Spencer level up for Margarito, and that ain't a far-fetched thing to say. It's not. Bro, I've been saying that, Wiz. I've been telling people that. I told D that live. I said, Josh Taylor will beat the shit out Errol Spence. Will beat the shit out of him. He's going to find out. Two hands, you really think? Hell no, he won't fight no goddamn Canelo. He ain't lost his damn mind. He don't want to lose his career. He don't want to lose the little career he got. He would never fight Canelo. He'll never fight Canelo. You goddamn right, Manny Juice is stronger. Shit, he learned from the best. He learned from the best. Alex Ariza. Alex Ariza. He learned from the best. Alex Ariza and Freddie Roach. Mr. I don't know what's going on in the program, but mystery drinks is going around. He learned from the best. Them boys was doing some real. That Manny Pacquiao, that motherfucker was said. Them boys would say they was doing their test over at some little clinics in bumblefuck nowhere in California. Had people running around looking for the paperwork, knowing that shit never even got done, saying it got lost and everything. Them boys was doing some shit, man. Allegedly. Allegedly. Manny actually called Spence slow because he is. He is. Now, Manny sat back and he's had to enjoy 3 fights. He's had to enjoy 3 fights of Spence while he analyzes him at every level. He saw in the first Sean Porter fight that, Mikey Garcia just wasn't open up because of the power to the body moving up 2 weight class. And Mikey Garcia didn't do nothing but get fat in the gut fighting Errol Spence. I thought Mikey Garcia, he's never been a definitive guy. He's never been the most defined in his character. But I mean, god damn, man, like he just looks super, super sloppy in the abdomen area. Manny Pacquiao going to go out there joint on them super beans. You know it's going to be no VADA testing. That's the way Errol Spence like it. Errol Spence likes USADA. You give Manny Pacquiao those options. If you like USADA, Manny gonna love you. Oh my God, he gonna hurt you. Oh my, and nobody believe me. But watch what I tell y'all. Watch what I tell y'all when that fight happened. Nobody believes me, but watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Pacquiao been chilling on the answer. You damn right. They've been living strong and living wrong. But God damn it, they winners. They winners. I don't know how Manny did it. Manny might have been taking blood transfusions in the back, you know what I'm saying, before the piss test and shit, before the blood test, just like Lance Armstrong. Might have been taking blood transfusions. Out with the old and in with the new. Absolutely. And my thing is, I always contributed to looks, styles, and experience, talent, technique. You look at Manny, you look at the Josh Clottys of the world, you look at the Antonio Margaritos of the world, you look at the Oscar De La Hoyas of the world, the Floyd Mayweather Juniors of the world. Shit, you could even go as far as the David Diaz at 135 of the world. Look at the Eric El Terrible Morales of the world. Look at the Marco Antonio Barreras of the world. If I said Joshua Clotty, look at the Josh Clottys of the world. Look at the Tim Bradleys of the world. Look at the Miguel Cottos, the Ricky Hattons. Now, somebody tell me if anything that I just said right there, out of the looks that Manny Pacquiao said, where the fuck does Errol Spence stand a chance? Where? When he's having struggles with Sean Porter and he's getting touched up by Danny Garcia, who has never did anything but sink at 147 pounds. And where are they fighting? At 147 pounds. And if it's a Manny Pacquiao fight, Manny Pacquiao is truly the A side, even though Errol has more belts. So everything is gonna be dictated in Manny Pacquiao's favor because Spence is the B side in this situation. So it's gonna be no VADA testing. I'm sure he might have a sensible catch weight in there, considering this guy ain't even a 147-pound fighter. And Manny is going to take it to this kid. He's going to take it to this kid, man. Yeah, we know that. And I mean, if nobody's seen the actual Lance Armstrong story that they did, I believe it's on Hulu or HBO Max or something, or Showtime. Yeah, Showtime. Watch that joint. That joint is fire. If you only knew the rigorous program them boys was under, that they coach had them all that super juicing team. I believe I forgot where the bikers came from, that he was riding with Turkey or whatever, that was on his team or whatever. Yo, if you knew what this doctor had them boys doing and how they did it and how strenuous the testing got and how Lance Armstrong was switching up, literally taking blood transfusions on the private plane on his way over to do the Tour de France just so he could get his shit right, just so we could have the steroid injections. He would swap his blood before he took the Tour de France. Like them boys was doing some You talking about wanting to win and doing it at any and all costs and trying to cover up your freaking trails. And all Lawrence Armstrong did was fuck up in one spot. He didn't respect his team. And once his team fell out, they crashed out on him and gave the motherfuckers everything they wanted to know. Spence dominated Danny Garcia. The two judges gave Danny 4 rounds of being quite generous. I wouldn't say, of course he won the rounds, but I mean, you can't ignore the fact that Spence was getting touched the fuck up all night by a very slow. He should dominate, no look pass. He should dominate a Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is nothing at 147, but Danny Garcia was touching him up and hitting him with significant shots all night. All night. Put Manny Pacquiao there. Trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. By far. Manny Pacquiao might be a smooth number 2 and number 3, allegedly. Shout out to goddamn John Pascal, stupid ass. You done fucked up your money for the night. This nigga, he on John Pascal on his big baby pharma shit too. These dudes crazy. That nigga got, oh my God. This nigga was on more anabolics than you would ever believe. The anabolic. Are you going to fight like a man? Are you going to run like a chicken? Because we know you like to run like a chicken and fight like a girl. You like to hold like a little girl or run like a chicken. So are you going to fight like a man or are you going to run like a chicken? 4, it was 4. I thought it was 3. That man was on, oh my God, was he on mountains of that shit, boy. I'm sure when he popped, that man walked out the door, everything he was doing, extreme. That motherfucker opened the door, extreme. Hop in his car, hit the gas, extreme. Eat his cereal, extreme. Like, yo. Nobody can bike all those mountains in 3 days and not be on something shit. That's not even human to ride a bike through that shit. Yo, the shit that they do is absolutely insane. What they do is insane. And the way he went about it was like, yo, I'm telling you, man, y'all got to watch that documentary, man. That shit is like, I think it's like 2 or 3 hours. But yo, like you cannot even put in words. Like people think you just doping and that's it. That's all it is to it. Nah, it's a lot of shit to go with that shit. I was just in awe of all of the shit that them dudes was doing and the level and on the level in which they were doing and how many years he was doing it and not getting caught. And then the people knew the Lance Armstrong before that, he was just that mindset, man. Some people want to do it the right way. Some people just they gotta win at all costs, man. That's where that term come from, winning at all costs. Some dudes are just firm believers in that. The king of narcotics, Big Pharma, Big Belly Miller, a.k.a. Big Pharma, a.k.a. Super CVS Shorty, a.k.a. I am Right Aid. Yeah, man, that's a hell of a documentary. Hell of a documentary. Extreme! Like I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Shit is crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. But all right, y'all, I'm about to shut this thing down. I'm about to get out of here. I'm ready to go ride bikes. As we always say at the end of this shit, cost you nothing, pay a nigga no mind. This is another Super Nipl Sunday. We running Super Nipl Sunday all the way up until the fight. Yeah, man, Ronald Finkley, salute. Champ Ross, salute. Miguel, salute. Don't ask me, salute. No look pass. Wizard Sleeve, Toby Bartlett, salute. D. Hodges, salute. What's goody, homie? JD, salute. Man, Ronald Finkley, salute. Javi, salute. Shit, Wiz, salute. Man, everybody, man, that came through, man. Proud father, man. Victor Bada, salute. Glad you caught me today, man. Junior, salute. Always a pleasure. Lisa Bell, salute. Queen Wayne Henny, man. George, the soul survivor, reborn. He's back. He's resurrected. Everybody, man, y'all have a wonderful day, man. Yeah, man, it's beautiful outside, man. Whether it's jet skis, four-wheelers, or just standing in the AC, man, do what you do. And always, as I always tell y'all, motherfucker, remember, man, don't conform to nobody, because all y'all motherfuckers is stars, man. Respect.